November 24th, 1971. Thanksgiving Eve. What should have been a routine 30-minute flight from Portland to Seattle would instead become the most legendary unsolved crime in aviation history. A man in a business suit would board Northwest Orient Flight 305, order a bourbon and soda, and pull off the only unsolved case of air piracy in American history. This is the story of D.B. Cooper, and what really happened inside that Boeing 727 at 10,000 feet. 2:50 p.m., Portland International Airport. A man approaches the Northwest Orient ticket counter. He's unremarkable, middle-aged, wearing a black business suit, white shirt, black tie, and a mother-of-pearl tie pin. He pays cash for a one-way ticket to Seattle under the name Dan Cooper. The media would later misreport this as D.B. Cooper, and the name stuck. He boards Flight 305, a Boeing 727-100 with just 36 passengers on this holiday eve. The weather is overcast, typical for November in the Pacific Northwest. Cooper takes seat 18C, in the last row of the aircraft, orders a bourbon and soda from the flight attendant, lights up a cigarette, perfectly legal in 1971, and appears to settle in for the short flight. But flight attendant Florence Schaffner notices something odd. This well-dressed businessman keeps glancing at her, and there's something about his calm demeanor that feels different. What she doesn't know is that in his briefcase, Cooper is carrying something that will change everything. 3 p.m. 20 minutes into the flight, cruising at 7,000 feet. Cooper does something that catches Florence Schaffner's attention. He hands her a note. Flight attendants in 1971 were used to passengers trying to slip them their phone numbers, so Schaffner initially doesn't read it, just smiles politely and continues with her duties. But Cooper leans forward and says quietly, "Miss, you better look at that note. I have a bomb." Schaffner's blood runs cold. She unfolds the note. In neat handwriting, it reads, "I have a bomb in my briefcase." He opens his briefcase just enough for her to see inside, red cylinders, wires, and what appears to be a battery. Whether it's real or fake, Schaffner can't tell, but she's not about to find out. Cooper's voice remains calm. "I want $200,000 in $20 bills. That's about $1.4 million in today's money, and 4 parachutes. I want the money in a cloth bag, and I want this plane to stay in the air until I get what I need." In the cockpit, Captain William Scott receives the most unusual radio transmission of his career. Flight attendant Schaffner has quietly informed the crew of the situation using the aircraft's internal communication system. Scott immediately contacts Seattle-Tacoma International Airport and the FBI. What's remarkable is Cooper's behavior during this tense period. He's polite to the flight crew, even apologetic about the inconvenience. He tells Schaffner, "I'm not going to hurt anyone. I just have a small grudge against your airline." For over an hour, Flight 305 circles above the Puget Sound region while FBI agents and Northwest Orient officials scramble to meet Cooper's demands. The other passengers remain unaware that anything unusual is happening. The crew maintains complete composure, continuing normal service. During this time, Cooper reveals small details about himself. He mentions that he knows the area well, having jumped in the region before. He demonstrates surprising knowledge of aviation, correctly identifying landmarks below and discussing the aircraft's capabilities. 5:45 p.m. After nearly 3 hours of circling, Captain Scott receives word that Cooper's demands have been met. The FBI has assembled $200,000 in $20 bills, each bill's serial number carefully recorded, and 4 parachutes, 2 primary chutes and 2 reserve chutes, as requested. Flight 305 finally lands at Seattle-Tacoma International Airport. Cooper allows all 36 passengers to disembark, but insists that Florence Schaffner and the rest of the crew remain on board. As passengers leave, they're still unaware of the drama that's unfolded above their heads. Cooper examines the money and parachutes carefully. He rejects the military-issue parachutes, preferring civilian sport parachutes. He knows what he's looking at. This is an amateur hour. He keeps one primary chute and one reserve, then surprises everyone by using the cord from the rejected reserve chute to secure the money bag to his body. Cooper then gives the crew his flight plan. I want to fly toward Mexico City at minimum speed, about 200 miles per hour. Keep the landing gear down, flaps lowered to 15 degrees, and maintain an altitude of 10,000 feet. These specific instructions puzzle the crew but demonstrate Cooper's aeronautical knowledge. 7:40 p.m. Flight 305 takes off again, now headed south toward Mexico with just Cooper and the 6 crew members aboard. The Boeing 727 struggles to maintain Cooper's requested configuration. The specific speed and altitude requirements are pushing the aircraft to its limits. Cooper asks flight attendant Tina Mucklow to show him how to operate the aft stairs, a unique feature of the 727 that allows stairs to be lowered during flight. He's done his homework. Not many aircraft have this capability. Around 8 p.m., somewhere over the rugged forests of southwestern Washington, Cooper makes his final request. I want everyone to go to the front of the plane and stay there. The crew complies, moving forward and closing the curtain between first class and the main cabin. What happens next remains one of aviation's greatest mysteries. At approximately 8:13 p.m., the crew feels a sudden upward movement of the aircraft's tail section, consistent with someone jumping from the aft stairs. Captain Scott and his crew maintain course, but they know Cooper is no longer aboard. Cooper has jumped into a freezing November rainstorm, wearing only a business suit, with $200,000 strapped to his body, into the dense forests of the Cascade Mountains. The temperature is near freezing, winds are gusting, and visibility is near zero. Flight 305 landed safely in Reno, Nevada, as Cooper had requested, but he was long gone. The FBI launched one of the longest-running investigations in its history, interviewing hundreds of suspects and following thousands of leads. In 1980, a young boy found $5,800 in deteriorating $20 bills along the Columbia River. Serial numbers confirmed they were from Cooper's ransom. But Cooper himself has never been found, nor has the rest of the money. Did he survive the jump into one of the most inhospitable terrains in America during a storm? The FBI officially suspended the case in 2016, but the mystery endures. What happened aboard Flight 305 that Thanksgiving Eve was unprecedented, a crime so audacious, so politely executed, and so completely successful that D.B. Cooper became a folk hero? He committed the only unsolved case of air piracy in American history without firing a shot, without raising his voice, and without harming a single person. Somewhere in the forests of Washington, the truth about D.B. Cooper remains hidden. The man who turned a routine flight into aviation legend, who pulled off the perfect crime at 10,000 feet, and who jumped into history on a cold November night. What do you think happened to D.B. Cooper? Let us know in the comments below, and subscribe for more unsolved mysteries that changed history.